I've already made an object that I'll be using to teach you how to easily make sculpting alphas. This object was made using a cube and an imported SVG. I'll be using the add-on called GrabDoc. The link is in the description. The important thing to remember is that the object must be above the grid in order to render the objects correctly. I'll split the viewport and open the camera view using 0 on the numpad. I clear the rotation and location of the camera using Alt-R and Alt-G. Under the Output Properties tab, I changed the resolution to 1000 by 1000. I open the GrabDoc add-on and click on Setup Scene. I turn off everything in the add-on except the height preview. I move the camera up along the Z-axis until I see the object, at which point I can scale it to fit the camera view. When I click on the height map, I will see a preview of the alpha. The black areas will be the flat parts of this alpha, but if I had sculpted a crack, for example, the black areas will be extruded inward. The white areas will be extruded outward. If the alpha does not look right and you need to make changes, just click on Leave Map Preview, and you can then make any needed changes. I can now give it a name and use a 16-bit PNG for the format. I can also now tell Blender where I want to export the alpha to using the Export Path option. I then use the Export Plane as FBX option and click on Export Height. I'll use the default draw brush for my saved alpha. Under the Active Tool tab, I click on the Add Brush icon and rename the brush. Under the Texture panel, I click on New. Under the Texture tab, I open the alpha. Back on the Active Tool tab, I change the mapping to View Plane. Now this will depend on your alpha. For the stroke, I'll use Anchored, which will allow me to click and drag. Now I can click and drag from the center and move my mouse to straighten the alpha. Notice, however, if I go into Side View, there's a pronounced bend to the brush. To prevent this, I'll change the sample bias to -1.75. Again, this will depend upon your alpha.